all of a sudden I found myself in ambush, like 10 or 15 armed men stopped me, asked me to get out of the car. So I told them that I'm going to the British Council, where there are some people been staying at this building for 6 days. Now it was the 6 days of the war. My name is Elsadig Mustafa Muhammad Ahmed Abu Saka. I'm from Khartoum, Sudan. I'm living in Al Mujahideen, which is not far from the area which is the first clashes has started. Actually, after a few days, uh, I realized it's not going to end soon. So I suggest to my wife and my kids that they leave Khartoum and they came to Egypt. Alone in the house, I didn't fear at the beginning. It's war. I've worked before in war zones, in hot zones. So I didn't fear. My personal safety, it wasn't an issue to me. So this at the beginning, at the first weeks, gradually the neighborhood started to get empty. Everybody's leaving. So after a month, I think I was the only person living in the neighborhood. In British Council, Sudan, they were having 10 people locked in the office. And they want my assistance, or they want me to help them to put a plan to evacuate them or to get them out of the office. The only way to get these people out of the office, it's that somebody goes to them, to the office, and get them out of the office in a car. Otherwise, there's no way that they can make it. Because if they leave the office, they will be exposed to the snipers. Just to let you know that the office area, it's between the army headquarters and the presidential palace. So he asked me who's going to do it. I told him that I'll do it voluntarily. So first of all, I went through Al Hurriya bridge, which is on the west side of Khartoum. At that time, this area was occupied by the army. And the army, they stopped me, they questioned me, where are you going? I told them that we had some people at the office, and I'm going to take them out. So they start directing me until the last checkpoint of the army, which was in Al Gundul area in the middle of the Suq Al Arabi. And from there, they told me that it's me and God, because RSF are in the next area. I was heading from west of Khartoum to east Khartoum. My first experience was with RSF forces was near Faculty of Pharmacy, Khartoum University. I was going on side streets, as the army advised me. All of a sudden, I found myself in ambush, like 10 or 15 armed men stopped me, asked me to get out of the car. So they searched the car. I told them my story, where I'm heading to, what I'm going to do. So I told them that I'm going to the British Council, where there are some people been staying at this building for 6 days. Now it was the 6 days of the war. So at the beginning they were suspicious, and finally when I showed them my national IDs, my papers, they said the car, they could not find anything. They told me that it's very dangerous to go the car to that area or to cross. There are two main streets there. They asked me also to drive very fast in this area, in the area until the office, because there's snipers. There are armed snipers from the other side of the street. So I'll have to drive very fast. That's what I did. So when I arrived there, also I found a very hard welcome from some RSF soldiers. They actually they didn't want to believe at all that there's people in the building that in front of them. They told me that if they have been here for the past for the past 4 days and they did not see anyone or hear anything. I told them that there are 10 people here, and I'm sure that if we go to that side door and we knock it, or the main door, they're going to open it. So they said, if there is nobody there, we're going to kill you. I thought, yeah, do it. I was very confident that when we knock the door, or even before that, we cross the road, they will open the door. So we went there. I start knocking the door. Nobody want to open. Knock, 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 knock. I called one of my colleagues. So I told him that please call those people who are inside, tell them, because they didn't want to listen to me. So I thought that the best thing that is to call by, they called by somebody that they know or trust. So that they opened the door. So I called this guy. I told him that, yes, I'm with RSF. They are friendly. They're not going to do anything for them. I'm safe. Just ask them to open the door. Finally, they opened the door, but they were very terrified. I found that for 3 days they did not eat anything because all the food supplies that they had in the office cafe was end, and they did not have any carriage, or they did not want to expose themselves to RSF because RSF are occupying the area, or at least there's some fight between RSF and the army around the office. So they don't want to draw attention. RSF people, they told me that I have 5 minutes to take my people, and went. And I went back through the same road. Yeah. And yeah, it was. I think I was very lucky, to be honest. That's it. Lucky. One of my colleagues, he asked me to pass by his house to see. He had an information that his house has been robbed, and he asked me to go to the house and lock the main door with some what do you call it, padlocks. In the street, I've been stopped by two young kids. When I say kids, I'm sure that none of them it's more than 18 or 19 years old. These two young men as they stopped me and they asked me where I'm going to. So I told them the whole story. They said, "No, you are lying. You are working with the army, and we are sure." We sure that you give them the coordinates so that they can shell and what do you call it, send their weapons to right directions. The other guy, he came. He told the guy with me. He told him this guy, he refused to give us his car. So they shoot 2 or 3 what do you call it, shots or bullets in front of me just to terrify me, and put the gun or the clash just near to my ears. Now there some now I cannot hear it very well because of the noise. They put it and they shoot 2 or 3 guns. I can't remember because I stopped counting because of the headache and what do you call it, the noise. I looked around. It's nobody. After all these things, nobody has come out of his house. I knew that this area is empty. Nobody is here. If these people kill me, I'll end up dying in this street. Nobody's going to bury me or know that I've been killed. So I offered to give them the key, and they said, no, we're not going to leave you. You're not a civilian, you're not a normal guy. Seems to be you work with intelligence and you are a high ranker. They took me from there and they to one of their offices, and when they tell their stories, the guy or the officer who was there, he asked me to tell my story. I tell him my story, and I told him that I know some people from RSF, and they're currently living in my house. Actually, they released me immediately. This is the only moment. This is the only moment that I afraid. You know, at that area, if they kill me or harm me or do anything to me, nobody would know. They will kill me. They take my car, and nobody know where exactly am I. And actually, I'm sorry to say this, but I forget all what I used to learn people or to teach people when it comes to their life. I tell people their life, their safety come first. If somebody was trying to loot you or to kill you for your phone, for your money, whatever it is, just give it to him. I fail in that test. I don't know why. Why I confront those people. Why I did not surrender. Why I did not give them my car. So, yeah. This is the only time that I feel that I may lose my life. I had two daughters. Both of them, they are teenage. And one of my daughters, she developed a phrase. Now until now she's use it. Whenever she called me, she say hello. She asked me, "Are you still alive?" Can you imagine the stress and the pressure that they've been living in? Every telephone that they made it, they feel that, or they may hear that their father may be killed or passed away or kidnapped or arrested or whatever it is. So getting out of Khartoum, it wasn't because of me only, but also because of my kids. I left Khartoum, I think, at the first week of August, which is almost 4 months in the war. As a child, I've been raised in Gulf area. My father was working there. I don't want to say it wasn't pleasant, but it's not a good experience for a child. That feeling came back to me when I was crossing to Egypt. People here, they are compassionate, understood. They open their arms. They try to help whenever they can. They give hand, but it's not Sudan. And Cairo is not Khartoum. I didn't want to give up Khartoum. I like Khartoum like one of my kids, by the way. Yeah, I know that the day I leave Khartoum, I'm not going to get back to her. I know Khartoum and Omdurman, street by street, neighborhood by neighborhood, building by building, especially those big buildings, on the street. Recently, when I see some videos from Khartoum, I could not recognize the areas. When I say Khartoum is just like a pretty lady to me. She's my first love. When I say home, my home is Khartoum. That's why I stayed. Hope that it could end, but unfortunately, no.